then, okay, I'm about wrapping up with the actual convention. In fact, I believe I just about am. Um, though you have a somewhat amusing personal story if you're interested in Ponygoons Misadventures. But why don't I do the rest of the parts of the con, and then I'll get back to what we did in the meantime. So, they said they were going to do a pony. Oh, wait, this was actually before the auction, but they fucked around with the schedule to make it before it for some reason. Um, they were going to do a mythology presentation on the connections between, the characters on, or not the characters so much as the environmental elements and the villains and the things that come into the show and the setting and all that and Greek mythology I believe is what he said he was. I think it was a British sounding dude or something. So if they have a British accent they always know what they're talking about. um, but they in classic form they were having technical difficulties and he plugged his website and I actually think I am going to look it up because that at least has the potential to be interesting. um, So yeah, after and then was the pony auction. Then after that, they did Brony-Palooza. Um, okay, at this point, it dawned on it was me, Headless Scuderia, sitting there. It dawned on us that we really had next to zero interest in Brony-Palooza, which in many ways I feel was the right call. Uh, so okay, I'll get into a misadventure in a second. I ultimately ended up coming back to the convention after we did what we did. And the only other thing, the only part that I saw of Brony-Palooza, I walked in with, I believe it was, yeah, it was Dark Matter, and looked at the people. It was like the lights were dimmed in the main room. There was like almost a disco ball-esque effect. That's the best way I can think to describe it. And they were all dancing along like almost a gospel choir way without the robes and singing what seemed to be a personalized song about sharing My Little Pony with people. Um, I I sincerely watched 10 seconds of this and walked back out of the room, which I believe again was the right call. It's possible that Mr. Matter saw more of that. If he did, I hope he survived. But Brony-Palooza did not particularly interest me. Um, well, a quick side note. Shit, did I mention the guys in the shirts? Well, when I first checked into it's possible I'm telling the story again because I've been rambling for way longer than I was. This was supposed to be 20 minutes. Um, when I first got into the hotel, the one gentleman that was in the Sweetie Belle Dumb Fabric shirt that I mentioned earlier, I noticed as I was waiting in line because they were way in front, and it wasn't until later that I saw they were carrying musical equipment. And based on their looks, now let's replace the pony shirts with, let's say, Megadeth or something. I would have presumed these guys to be metalheads. So I actually never got this confirmed, but I'm pretty sure they were Nayslayer. That's right, Nayslayer. And I believe that they did perform at the Brony-Palooza thing, um, though I'm not sure if they were there for the 10 seconds of that Bizarro song that I saw. So, okay. Anyway, after the pony auction, and this is just a quick Ponygoons misadventure. Um, horrible name. Um, so I think it was Scuderia's idea, and I'll just use their forum names, even though that sounds kind of weird because I don't want to mention what their real names are, and I also forgot. So anyway, it was Scuderia's idea to go get something to eat. And, Brony-Palooza was coming up, so I'm like, sure, I don't mind leaving. And Headless was down as well. So anyway, we get out of the hotel, and, you know, it was nice to get out of the room after all of that, if I'm being completely honest. Uh, and walked back out. Now, figuring out exactly where to go was a bit of a fiasco because I'm sort of by nature an indecisive person. Well, not indecisive, but like if someone's like, "Where do we want to eat?" I'll let them figure it out, and then I'll just go for it. I won't really be forceful on a question like that, at least. Plus, I don't really know New York City that well. I figure, Horst lives here. He probably does. And Scuderia had been doing some research on stuff. So, I'll figure, okay, let's go. I'll just go with whatever you guys want. That was the basic mindset that we had. And we decided to go to the Burgers and Cupcakes place. Now, I believe we weren't completely certain of the name at that point in time, or at least I wasn't. But the name of the place is Burgers and Cupcakes. The reason it's this name is because they primarily serve burgers and cupcakes. Um, so anyway, we were under the impression that it was completely open. Oh, some of the places had closed by this point. This was probably by the time we got there near 11-ish. I might be a little off on that. But no, a bit earlier than that. Okay, it's not important. But we figured maybe a few places had closed, and this place seemed to be open. Um, so we get in, and the lights are on. People are in there. Like, okay, sure, we'll go here. And we walk in, and we were just about to take a seat. And in fact, I believe I had taken my seat. And the woman says, "Oh, I'm sorry. The stove is, or the kitchen's down for the night." And we're like, "Oh shit!" And then, as we're walking out, she goes, "Would you like some free cupcakes on the house?" And yeah, there was a funny moment where we're sort of staring at each other, like, "Wait, really? On the house? What was that offered? Was that a thing that just happened?" And we gave the only answer you could to a question like that, which is yeah. So we got, and when she said that, I wasn't sure how much this entailed. But what we ultimately ended up getting was 12 cupcakes. And it would be later, Scuderia would look this up. I guess these were $3 a pop. So we basically got $36 in cupcakes for free. And we're like, fucking awesome. Like, you know, that just happened. We went to a My Little Pony convention and got free cupcakes in unrelated events, which amazed me. I believe there's a picture of me holding it with a presumably idiotic smile on my face in front of the building. So from there, we weren't really sure where to go. We ended up. Shit, I just remember this happened. So we're walking up and kind of just looking for some place to go. We were like 50-50 on going to well, not 50-50. I mean, we decided obviously one thing, but to just go to like a diner or something basic, or to actually like find, the sort of place that, you're in New York City, you want to try something a bit more ethnic or, a different style of food than you get on, as opposed to, oh, quick side note. On Friday, when I got into the hotel, I should have mentioned this a long time ago. Maybe I fucking did. Um, I so I'm exhausted and I want from the bus ride and all that, and I want something to eat. So I just go across the street to the Penn Station. Oh, Pineapple! I have to give you credit. That ice cream stand that you mentioned, that was very good. That was delicious. Um, so kudos to you on that. Uh, but then I also wanted something a bit more substantial just to eat. So I went to a Pizza Hut. I'm gonna let that sink in for a moment. I came to BronyCon and I went to Pizza Hut and I got a personalized pan pizza, um, which was fine. And the answer to the question is no. I did not ask him to draw a rainbow dash on the box. Um, but like as I'm carrying it, like the fact that I went to BronyCon and then went to Pizza Hut hit me like a ton of bricks, and my self worth lowered for a solid 10 minutes until I ate the pizza. But okay, that was a tangent. I'm sorry. So anyway, where the fuck was I? Oh yeah. So after the fortunateness of burgers and cupcakes being closed, we're walking around. We ultimately decide like we're not going to do the diner thing. We're going to look for something a bit cooler, 20% cooler. Anyway, so after that, we walked up and down for a while, not really knowing where we were going. It probably looked a bit stupid. But then we're standing there discussing our future plans, and a gentleman who appeared to be on something kind of came out of nowhere. And he starts talking directly to me. And he says, now I'm holding the cupcake bag in my hand. It was a box of cupcakes that was then in a bag. And he says to me, like, if I was a criminal, I would have taken your bag, man. And then I was a bit thrown off by this, and I was like, "Oh, I don't remember what the fuck I said." And he was like, "You should, be careful with your bag, man." And I think I said something like, "Oh, good advice." Um, and then it went back and forth on this for a while, and then he's like, "Well, that is your bag, right?" Now the whole time I'm thinking that he's referring to the bag that I'm holding in my hands, because that's where my mind was on the word bag. But then I look over in the corner and I see that somebody else had left their bag on the ground. I'm like, "Oh no, that's not my bag. I thought you meant this bag," and hoping that this would end the conversation. But it ultimately was a panhandler. Credit to Mr. Scuderia, who gave him some change and sent him on his way. He then asked me if they called me Red or Rusty. Um, I answered Red, which was a somewhat truthful answer, as I have been called that, whereas I don't think I've been called Rusty in my life. Then he faked a laugh, I believe, and then we went our separate ways. And, you know, after that, I think my first reaction was, that was awesome, which it was, really. So anyway, we end up going to a Thai food place. I got. I don't think there was anything too interesting at the Thai food place. We were just talking about shit. I got the chicken yao. Wait, no, that wasn't it. I don't know what the fuck the name of it was. It was good, whatever it was. It also came with a salad that. How the fuck did I just pronounce salad? Salad. Salad. That I didn't know what the fuck the whatever the fucking salad was, but it was pretty good. And then we sort of figured, what the fuck, let's have some of our cupcakes. And the people there were nice enough to bring out a some dishes for us so we could eat our cupcakes and a spoon in case we needed it. But that's not the proper way to eat a cupcake, at least not in my hood. So, and the cupcakes, by and large, I'm not sure if they were $3 good. They were fucking good. Those were some goddamn good cupcakes. But they had a shitload of frosting on them, so I sort of had a limit of two. Um, I think I think between the three of us, we probably had five. I might be off by a little bit. And I was like, fuck, I just don't want any of these. And I believe that Scuderia was chatting with the IRC at this point, who apparently was very interested in what we were getting and where we were and all that. And I hate to break it to you, probably I wouldn't say not interesting. I mean, if you're listening to this, then presumably it's of some interest. But you know, I it wasn't a life changing moment or anything. It was just some decent Thai food. So fine by me. Anyway, so we end up walking off. Sort of reflect. Oh, and while I guess the funny thing that happened while we were there is that some woman in the table next to us was saw our cupcakes, and apparently, like, this is a regular burgers and cupcakes event because she said, "Did you go in asking for one and then they give you a bunch of free ones?" I've tried that before. It doesn't always work, and I don't remember if we what we told her. We probably just told her what happened, but we did end up giving her a cupcake. So she had a good day, and I told her she had to pay it forward, starring Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment. Um, and you know what? Maybe she will, and maybe the world will just be a little bit of a better place. So anyway, we started walking back. Headless took off at this point. Walked through the Penn station. Got lost for a moment, but then we found our way. Got through the Penn station. Got back to the hotel. In the Penn station, there was a flute player with a like a street musician type playing. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Now, I mean, how appropriate for BronyCon that the street musicians would be playing that on that particular day. I don't know if I sincerely doubt this was an organized strategy, though if it was, kudos to that guy. I did not have any change, and maybe I should have given him $1 or something. I'm such an asshole. But once again, Scuderia, fucking man of the people, decided to give him some change. So kudos to him once again. And um, yeah, then whoa, okay. And one final bonus thing. So we take the cupcakes back up,